Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana hobby guy. And 2 years ago, almost to the date, same week anyway, I did a letter to Santa project that I had on my channel and also on the Laser Maker's Realm. And it was a really fun project, fun to do. I made one for all the grandkids. And today we're going to do take two on that 2 years later. Lightburn has changed since then. And I've also changed the file as well. And don't go anywhere because I've got a free download for you of this project. So you're going to be able to download this just as you see me do it today with my graphics on it, my custom North Pole post office seal. And I don't know if that was custom or not. But anyway, it's got a bunch of cool graphics on it. It's an awesome project for Christmas. I know it's still November, but for those of you that are going to do this commercially, well, now is the time to get started. So let's jump into Lightburn real quick and take a look at the project. And here it is. So today I'm working on the Lasermatic 20, and you can see the whole project is here nested. I've got all of the separate parts over here, should you want to do separate parts on it or whatever. And in here, this is custom text over here. And basically you're going to put the child's name. So I'm going to put today Gino's Christmas list. And once you assemble these four pieces, this piece right here in the middle actually fits on top of this one over here. And this is the spacer that goes between them right over here. And then, of course, we've got the seal of the North Pole, which goes right over this right here. And it's designed so that it fits perfectly. And what does this do? This holds the letter from Santa. So this would be your child's wish list, what they want for Christmas. And to give this away, you'd want to give away the actual story of the letter from Santa. So let's jump into that real quick. And letter to Santa. So here are the files that you're going to get with this free download. You're going to get all of the AI, SVG, and DXF files are in this folder. All of the Lightburn files are in this folder, and I've done this for every computer. So you've got bottom left origin, you've got top left origin, and you've got top right origin, as well as the art library in here. Every laser can do this, whether you have a CO2 or a diode. In here is a README file, which is also embedded in the Lightburn file. So this basically says, be sure to read the story of the letter to Santa. If you're selling these, distribute a copy of the letter in the pouch of the final project. And then it tells you what's in here. It also tells you where you can get the font that I'm going to use today. And I'm going to go get that font now because I'm now on a new computer. But just remember that this font is licensed for personal use only. This particular font, I believe he charges like $79 for some outrageous amount of money. If you're using it for personal use, that's fine. If you're using it for business use, use a font that you already own, or go buy one for $4 or $5, a Christmas font somewhere else. And don't forget to put your child's name and set your speeds and your powers. I've also got some links to some recommended wood on here in this file. Let's close that. And then here is the story of the letter to Santa. So let's jump into that real quick. I'll open that up, and here is the story. So the story of the letter to Santa. So now I wrote this story 2 years ago. So I love it. And this one was done for the Laser Maker's Realm. That's why you see that insignia over there. You can follow the link over here and join us every 2 weeks for the live stream that we do. And there's a link to my channel as well in case you're not a subscriber. So, well, you can just hit subscribe right now, right? So I'll read this story of the letter to Santa. So every year, just before Christmas, Santa's elves travel the entire globe collecting letters to Santa from the post office. Some unfortunate children don't get presents from Santa. Why? Because the elves never find their letters, since many of them get lost in the mail or have no stamp. So, in an effort to correct this problem for all children, I have created this laser engraved and cut file for you to hang up on your fireplace, Christmas tree, and place the letter to Santa where the elves can find it. In case you're wondering, yes, I have informed Santa and he has told the elves. So they're going to make a pass before Christmas to make sure that you get your Christmas presents. So just download the files and make sure your children don't get left out. Merry Christmas to all. So this is my custom story here. That's about it. So this is what everything that's going to be in the download. If we come back over here to the file, I have designed this to be, if we look up in the top over here, you'll see that it is 4.4 by 7 inches. So it's a really good file. It's smaller than the original file that I originally did. You can fit 2 of these on a piece of wood. Let's get started with setting this up. And all I'm going to do is I'm using the Rolly Automation Lasermatic 20, as you can see right here. So that has a 12 by 12 piece of wood that I've already put on there. I've already focused the laser. I haven't turned it on yet. So I know that I have to work within that 12 by 12 area. So I'll grab a primitive over here. And what I'll do is just hold shift and just draw out a toolpath. Now, if this is on a different colored layer, if it happens to be on red or whatever the case may be, let me make this bigger. All you have to do is come down here to the bottom and hit T1 or T2. We now have the toolpath. Make sure that your lock is enabled right here. And then all we're going to do is size this. So I'm going to make it 11.75 and press enter. And now we have a tool path and we know where we can work. Up at the top here, I'm going to align it to the top right corner because that's where that wood is aligned over here. And if you don't see all of these alignment tools over here, just right click on the white space right here and uncheck arrange, and then right click again and check arrange long, and you will have all of these. I like to have all of these up here so I don't have to worry about using the drop down menus for each one. So now that we've got our toolpath set up exactly like the wood is set up on the laser, I'm going to go ahead and take these and just bring them up right about here. This one doesn't matter because this is where the child's name is going to go, so I'll just delete that. And the only thing that we need to do now is put the child's name on. So as I said earlier, I'm going to use a font that comes from defont.com. I have this entire direct link in the file. So you come right here. It's going to be the third one down. Merry Christmas. So I'm going to click download right over here. And that downloaded to my folder right here. So I'll click on the folder, Merry Christmas.zip, and I'm going to extract all. And yes, I'll extract it right there. And here is the license I was telling you about that you need to read. And of course you can't read it on this because it's a little too big there. So, but anyway, read that license text. And what we're going to do here, I'm going to install, let me make this a little bigger so you can see it. These are image files here, so we're not going to fool with those. We're going to do the Merry Christmas flake right here. So let's double click on this. And here you can see these are all of the different styles that you get here. Now you can preview any one of these. Merry Christmas star, it's got stars around it. The difference is the accents. So I'm going to choose Merry Christmas flake. And I'm just going to hit the install button right here. And that's all it takes right there. It's now installed on my computer. So I can close these, come back to Lightburn, and I'll just take some text. So I'll start typing my grandson's name, and we'll type Geno's, and you know what? That's way too small. So let's make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And let's put that on the black layer because that's the engraved layer. And I'm going to come up in here and I'm just going to start typing Murray and hit enter. And there we go. So now we've got his name. It's got all the little snowflakes around it. I'm not quite sure if I even like that one, but that's okay. For this demonstration, we're going to use it. You can pick any font that you want. So I'm going to come back to text here and I'm just going to press enter. And I'm going to type Christmas list, and I will come back up to the selector up here, select this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the comma key to make it turn sideways to the left. Comma key turns it to the left, period key turns it to the right. I'm going to bring it in here and size it down. And I want to make sure that I get it way up here, because this one is going to be over it and this seal is going to be over here. So we want to get it up nice and close to that cutout. And then I can just hold shift, select this one here, and we want to come up here and get this centered. So align the objects on horizontal centers, just like that. And it was pretty close already. And now we've got everything that we need. So if we wanted to check this, we could take this and move it over and put it in place here. And we could take this and move this over and put it in place there. And you'll see that the text is in the right place. Now I can just undo and everything's back to the original configuration. Now I do have these docked up against each other, so it's not going to cut twice. This line over here and this line over here will only cut once. This line over here will only cut once. And what I did was on the laser tab, went to my optimization settings, order by layer, order by group, order by priority, and down at the bottom, remove overlapping lines. And these are my defaults. So layer, group, priority, okay. If we take a preview of this now, you'll see if I scrub back on this, it's going to do all of these and come back and cut everything out in about 13.5 minutes or so. So I think we've got everything all set up. And at this point, all you need to do is come in here and set your cuts and layers. It's important to know that this one here, this green layer, I've set to offset fill. And the reason why I did that, I only want to have about 5 or 6 lines. I should show that to you real quick. Let me turn off the show traversal moves. And let me zoom in on this. And there you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 5 lines. So I want it to be a little more distinct than the other engravings. And what that's going to do is just go around in a circle. Let's see, I can just hit play on this so you can see it better. There, it's going around in a circle, and that saves a whole bunch of speed, a whole bunch of time, because it's going to do that really quickly. So again, we've got about a 13.5 minute project. I am going to now switch over to the laser and get things set up. There you can see I've got everything set right now. I'm just going to turn on my laser and my fume extraction. Okay, so laser is on, fume extraction is on. I'm going to check my layers. It's going to do the black layer first, and the red layer is in the wrong spot. So I need to move this down to the bottom. Going to do the black first, the green second, and the cutout third. Just going to preview it again to make sure that I'm within this green line, which is the boundary of the laser, and put on show traversal moves. You'll see that I am. So I'm safe. It's not going to hit that side of the laser and stop the job. And I don't even need to frame on this one because I've got it set up. I am in absolute coordinates and we're ready to run this job. And I think it's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to hit the start button and let's go. Oh, smoke extraction on. Yes. Laser is focused. Yes. In case you're wondering where that is, I'm just going to say no to this right now. Up here, and I know I'll get questions on this. So up here, all you do is enable the job checklist, the wrench and screwdriver icon, and you enable job checklist, click on edit, and you type in here what you want, and that will give you that message when you click start. So let's click start and get started.
Down in Louisiana, where the bayous flow, there's a man with a laser and a craft to show. Speed it up, watch and go, in the time-lapse light. The Louisiana hobby guy, doing it right. Roll the tape, let it fly, laser engraving on me, oh my. From the morning sun till the deep blue night, it's the Louisiana hobby guy in a time-lapse sight. From engraving to cut, under southern skies, he's cutting, he's engraving, with those hobby guy vibes. Fast forward, the fun is fun to see. Creativity's calling fly. Laser engraving on me, oh my. From the morning sun till the deep blue night, it's the Louisiana hobby guy in a time-lapse sight. Guitar strumming, foot tapping, feeling the beat. The hobby guy train, come on, jump in, see the magic happen. As time slips away, Louisiana hobby guy making the most of the day, turning chaos into art. It's a sight to be.
All right, let's go over and get this off the laser. All right, so let's see what we've got. Let's take this piece off. And here are our pieces. I'm going to bring these over to the workbench. All right, so over here on the workbench, I've got my story all printed out, and that's ready to get folded up. Here are the pieces. Before I touch them, I'm just going to make sure that there's nothing, no soot left on it, just by sweeping it off a little bit. That should be good. So this is the way that these are going to fit. So we've got a spacer. Spacer goes here. This one goes on top. And then our seal of the North Pole goes right there. Then we just fold up our letter and slip it inside of there. And that's it. Really easy. So I'm not going to take you through this whole process, but I'm using some Appel glue here. And basically all I do is just put a little bit on here. I like using these little containers because they work really well and they're good for pinpoint glue. And the Appel glue is clear. It dries clear. So we don't have to worry about that. Anything oozing out from the sides. So basically we just put this together. Put that one on top, give it a little press. And then do the same thing for this one, and then the same thing for this. and I will show you the entire glued up version in just a moment. Okay, so I'm back. I'm all finished. It's only about 10 minutes later. And what I did was I folded up that letter and put it in here. Here's the final product. And this letter, come on camera, this letter fits right in here. Now I did run into one problem, was slipping this letter in. So I did add one extra spacer. So I quickly cut out one more piece. This is actually how it's going to hang on the tree. And you just fold the child's list and put it right in that slot. Put a little tree hanger on here, or the fireplace, wherever you're going to hang it, the mantle. And that's all you need to do, and hang it up. And I went with a much smaller size this year because the other size was a little too heavy. We hung it on the tree. So the other size was a bit too heavy. So that's why I went with the smaller size. What I didn't realize on the side here was I needed to add an extra spacer, because the original ones that we did were done on 5mm wood. So this is 3mm wood. So you need that little bit extra. So I did go ahead and cut out a spacer. If we jump back into Lightburn real quick, you'll see that I put it right inside here. And let me show you now a clean screen. And if you're going to get this from the art library, over here you'll see nested in the art library. So when I click on that, you'll see that I've already added that extra piece in here. So it's still going to be nested on that 12 by 12, and you'll have plenty left over. So in this art library, now I've gone ahead and left this text on here just to give you an idea. It should say the child's name and then Christmas list. But if we get rid of all this, I've gone ahead and put it in parts. So you can have this piece, these two pieces, and actually I got to fix this one. I'm going to do that right now and nest the second piece around it. And then this is the third piece over here, and this is the nested, and then of course is the seal. So I'll go ahead and re-nest these to make sure that it's right when you get it, and hopefully you enjoy this project. I absolutely love these. I think this came out great for a remake, and I'm going to make a couple more of these now. Actually, I'm going to make a bunch more of these because I'm going to mail them off to family with children, and I'm going to do that pretty quickly this week before I go for my back surgery next week. So that's it. That's the whole video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you make a Christmas list holder for your kids or your grandkids, or give them as gifts to somebody that you know and love. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, as long as it was. I'm glad you stood to the end though, because you found out about that extra piece. Those that didn't stay to the end might be a little puzzled when they open up the file. So I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bourbon in my hand, all fish on the fire. Rich Louisiana hobby guy, never tie, got my laser engraver. Been making everything right, carving my name day and night. Wooden signs and plaques, personalized engraving.